me go ahead and pop this here as well. Let me go ahead and do the tint buff. Shop. 50%. All right, so let me go ahead and hit the podcast here. So this is gonna be I'm gonna be checking out a new podcast. Uh so we'll see. It's by I can't even pronounce the name. Whatever that is, I don't know. I might link it. But it's about Black Desert Online, and is PvP dead in BDO? Question mark. So yeah, go ahead and play this now.
Welcome to the first episode of, I don't know if we're going to call this, maybe I continued from the Guzcast, maybe we call this the Boomer Games. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this podcast yet.
100.
But we're going to explore, like, meet some new creators in like different games and shit. And today is our
Man
first
talks
guest,
super
who's going to
fast.
be Mr. Norelio, who is a suck sage. Norelio, what would you say you are to the BDO community?
A shit poster.
Nice.
All right, so the way I always start this shit, I always kind of want to get to know the person a little bit more, get to know like get to know like the inner child. Most people carry trauma and pain from their childhood, and so I feel like bringing out the nice parts of their childhood is important, right? So when you were a little baby Norelli, when you were just a little baby Sage, okay, dude, what is it that you what,
right,
what was like brought you to gaming and
50%.
shit? What brought you like what was like things you remember like games you played and shit like that?
Oh,
Okay.
me and my brother, we used to watch WWE,
Yeah,
and when he would beat my ass,
yeah.
like he'd be like, "Well,
All right, let's do it.
like there's only so much beating I could take." So then we ended up getting a Nintendo 64, and then we started playing WWE on that.
Hell yeah, dude. Did you ever win, or would he
Oh
just beat the
hell
shit
no,
out of
I
you?
didn't. He had like 10 years on me.
Oh, so your brother's 10 years older than you?
Yeah, that was straight abuse.
Holy shit.
10 years.
Would he talk shit? Like,
But
while
hey,
he's beating the shit out of you?
me and my
Oh
siblings
yeah,
are
100%.
10 years as well. I'm the oldest.
No, dude. Wait, this is actually trauma, man. That's
I was
so
the nanny.
sad.
Then after that, we started getting into like Mario Party games and shit. We still beat each other's asses on that game though.
Oh, did you at least win once in a while during Mario Party?
Yeah, and
What?
also Super Smash Bros. Too.
Smash Bros hits, dude. Did you play like Melee and shit?
Yeah, no, quite literally, it does hit in real life too. It hits.
In real life. Do you still play it?
Nah, not anymore.
Not
Just
anymore?
BDO.
Yeah, that takes up like all time. What brought
Yeah,
you
it
like
does.
what like
BDO.
transitioned you from like playing games that like draw happiness from you into BDO, or I guess into MMOs in general, I guess.
Uh,
It's a solid question.
shit. I don't.
Oh,
I forgot how I got into BDO. I think one day I just saw like a PA ad and like a YouTube video I was watching, and then like this big ass Maywa just came out and just started swinging her sword, and I'm like, damn.
That's solid, Doug, bro. You remember
I
what
gotta
video
play
it
that
was?
game.
You remember what you were watching to begin with when you got fed that ad?
Yeah, I was watching a League of Legends video.
Bro,
I think it was
what
like a
the
Tyler One
fuck?
video.
Oh my god, dude, you're actually so
Yeah.
down bad. They
Yeah.
actually target the depressed. That's crazy.
come
That's
on.
They
so
These
did.
knockdowns so
I
stupid.
was in my league stage where I was like, wow, dude, I think I can make it on here, and I was like Platinum 3 or some shit.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, yeah, I gotta go pro.
You still play League?
Yeah.
What rank are you
Just
right
call me-
now?
Let's not talk about that.
Nah, let's find out.
I,
Dude, what's-
I was Diamond 4 2 weeks
Okay.
ago. I am now
Okay.
Emerald 3 as of last night.
I have no idea what any of
I'm
that
Emerald
means.
3.
That's tough.
That is tough.
I'm sorry to hear that, dude.
I think I played like
Are you
one
having
game
fun-
of League of
what
Legends.
lane do you play?
I play top lane.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah.
That's champs do you make?
For that game can be pretty toxic.
Scion,
Oh.
Yone. Ooh, I got that name
Ooh,
right.
Okay.
Scion, Yone,
Okay.
Trundle,
Oh,
and
ooh.
my recent pickup, Ramus top lane.
Ramus, does it actually work? I don't play a lot of League. I played more Dota. Does Ramus top lane actually work?
Yeah,
Is it actually good?
yeah. He's like a little Bowser.
Okay, let's
He's like a
open
little
up-
turtle.
Could we open up the op.gg here just to see like what the games are looking like? Do you mind if we do that?
Yeah. Let's do that. Actually,
Let's take a look. Yeah, let's take a little look see here. Let's see if what's your tag on League?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to send that to you on Discord because
Oh,
it's
you-
definitely not a bot account. So here you go.
Bro, there's no way. What rank was the account when you found it?
No, it's just it was just a level 30 account. Ooh, that looks. Wait, hold on,
Ooh,
hold
wait,
on.
hold on.
Maybe we don't
Wait,
show
hold on.
this.
Ooh, I don't know about the ramen top, dude. 2 and 8. Oh,
That's
what
just how
happened
you
to this
play
gray
it.
one? What happened to this gray one? Why are you level 1? What happened there?
Oh no, that's just someone. They disconnected on the enemy team and they just
Ah,
lost
they
it 'cause they
disconnected. Yeah,
saw
yeah,
the
yeah,
ram
yeah,
is
yeah,
top.
yeah. Ah, yeah, they were
Uh-huh.
afraid. Dude. Damn, this history. Let's see how many. Oh wait, did this close together? Oh, you could tell when the D rank happened. You started to like.
I'm in loser's queue. I'm
Yeah,
in loser's.
yeah. This is. It's okay. You know what, King? You grind up. Yo, the Yone 20. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yo, you're a God Tier player as well. Hold up, dude. Did you used to watch a lot of Trick 2G? Wait, how do you have 45% win rate on Udyr?
Uh, uh,
Oh
What's
my
yeah, it's
happening?
because
gosh.
I'm a trick
The
2G player. That's why.
knockdown
What's
is
your
so really you
2G,
strong it out, bro?
bro? You know what the trick is? You gotta play from a boat, dude. It gives you like it's like a hidden like buff.
Yeah, I also hear if you don't have a receding hairline, you just do not perform on that champion either.
Yo, is your hairline doing strong? Is it like still coming in?
Oh no, yeah, I have very
Really?
beautiful hair.
Really? How old are you?
I'm 27. Damn, I almost forgot.
Oh, yeah, it's normal though, because past like I feel like past 21, it doesn't really matter anymore. You know what I mean? After
Oh
21,
yeah,
it just goes in like intervals of 10.
Intervals of
that's
10.
wait, does it actually?
Well, that's what
Oh
I think
my
of it. 'Cause so wait, my
gosh.
logic around it was 19, right? Is your or like 18 you could drink in? Oh, you're not. Are you Canadian or American?
From France.
France.
Seriously?
Yeah,
You're European,
yeah. Je m'appelle Narelio.
bro. Are you?
Oh
That's cap.
wow.
Bro, you're French. There's no way you're
That's
French in
kind of
France.
dope.
Vous parlez français?
Oui, oui.
Are you Québécois?
Okay, now they're just talking a
You're
whole nother
Québécois. I hear it
language.
in your voice, bro. I'm from Quebec too. You're French as shit. You're French as
Yeah,
fucking
I'm a
shit.
Quebecian.
No
Yeah,
shit,
isn't
dude.
that obvious?
What?
Yeah, bro.
That's
I'm from
crazy.
Quebec. I'm in Montreal, dude.
No
Holy
way.
shit, we could have done this shit IRL.
Oh wait, dude. Hold
Wait,
on.
what?
Wait, are you in Montreal for real?
No, I'm kidding. I'm Mexican. I'm from Texas.
You're from bro. Why'd you come in with the French, dude?
Oh, because I took a year in high school and I just
Bro,
my
you
mind
went
is very
Oh,
there?
receptive. Yeah.
this
No,
man over
I can
here
remember
fooling
anything
him.
you drop. Like just give me something right now and ask me about it 2 hours later. I'll remember.
Really? Actually?
Yeah.
Okay. I want you to remember.
You could
Fuck.
just
I don't know on
write
the
it
spot
down.
now.
You could
It's
just
sunny
write it
outside, dude.
down.
No, it
What?
has to be something more precise.
He probably won't even
My main
remember to
Rek'Sai
ask
in League of
him.
Legends.
Okay.
All right. We'll see if it holds, boys. We'll see
We'll
if
see
it
if
holds.
it sticks.
Dude, if you're actually gonna be one shot, that would have been sick. Okay, that makes sense why your French is like so bad. Dude, when you say,
Oh,
I'm French from Paris, and like je m'appelle. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
ain't no way.
The only other phrase I know is "Jam un ham sandwich, s'il vous plaît."
Bro, what is that? Oh my god.
Doesn't that mean I want to eat a ham sandwich?
No, you say j'aimerais un sandwich au jambon.
Oh, jabon. Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh. We're just taking French over here,
It's okay.
guys.
Listen, it was
It's
only
all
1 year. It was
good.
only 1 year. It was only 1 year. It's fine.
It was
Oh, that's
actually only
so
1 year.
funny.
Yeah, to be fair though, my French is dog shit, and I live in the French province, so like I have no excuse. My French is actually.
My French teacher caught me writing answers on my hand
Was your French
for a
teacher a
test.
bitch, or were they mean?
She was really into it. Like she would
Oh,
recite a
really?
poem to us like every morning. I don't think that was a normal French teacher thing.
No, usually they're mean. Every French teacher I've ever had was cold as ice, dude. They were like the spawn of Satan. They were so angry. It was fucked. They used to do for us like we used to do like a year in English.
Come
and a year in
on,
French.
give me some
So, like,
RNG
bro, we used
drops.
to learn like imagine learning science or some shit, right?
I even did a
And
50
you learn
million tent
everything in
buff.
English.
Do me good.
Wait, in Canada, why does everyone hate people from Quebec?
Because we're cancer. Quebec is like
Why-
most Canadians are really nice, but Quebecers are fumers. Like we're really really mean usually. Like even dude to the point. I used to play a lot of CS, okay, and in CS you can. I don't think they still have this, but you got an option for what you could set your ping to, right? And
Yeah.
so obviously, gamer that I am, right? I wanted to phase I put the ping to the absolute minimum. But what happened is that when I did that, all I got was French people. And I couldn't win a game because every game had somebody who would intentionally start feeding and they would all just start calling each other game words and shit. So I had to bring the ping limit up so I wouldn't only play with the French. Or cancer. Quebec is like, I think it's because also in history, I'm pretty sure we lost in Canadian history. I'm not very good with it, but I think Quebec lost and Canada, like, was like they felt bad, so they gave us Quebec, right? And they're really, really pissed about it. Like, bro, there's even like language police here and shit. It's crazy. Like we
Language
have,
police.
What?
yeah. It's like super racist. If you have like,
This
and they're trying to
man,
like always make the language laws like stronger.
how
Like
he
I remember when
says,
I was
yeah, yeah,
younger,
yeah, yeah.
I actually lost a job when I was a
It's kind of
teenager
nuts.
because when you greet someone, you have to say like you have to greet in French first. You have to say bonjour, right? And you have to always like start in French. And if they speak English to you, then you can speak English. But when I was younger, I would just speak English to like my colleagues and shit, right?
That's so cool
And bro,
though,
they dead
being
ass
bilingual.
fired me because on my break I used to speak English to my coworkers and shit because they used to
That's
speak to me in French, and I
crazy.
thought, yeah, it was crazy. It's
That's
crazy.
kind of insane. What the
Restaurants
heck?
get shut down and shit. There's like they'll have like language police who come as like
Language
just like
police.
undercover or whatever. And if the
What?
menu isn't in French by
Oh
default,
my
you'll get in
gosh.
trouble and stuff. It's actually nuts.
That's
It's because I saw
nuts,
a video of
dude.
someone ordering some in Starbucks in English and they just threw the coffee at her. I'm like, what the hell?
That person's probably unhinged. That like doesn't happen anymore. But like when I was younger, I've had old ladies yell at me on the metro because I was just talking English to my friends. Because
That's
there's like a big thing about
crazy,
protecting,
dude. Like
it's
the
not as
culture, I
prevalent with
guess.
my generation and like ours, I guess, but like the older generation,
Older
our
one.
parents and shit.
Yeah, older
There was a lot of like
generation.
protecting the culture and stuff. Actual laws in place that were designed to like make sure that the
That's
French culture is always
crazy,
upheld
though.
and like
Well, history
yeah, like it's
lesson.
just like upheld
That's
so
kind of
it
cool.
wouldn't be like lost or whatever. But it kind of did the opposite, where it made no fucking sense, right? Because
Ooh, yeah.
Canada itself, it's not even like it's our land, bro. Like you're from the other side of the planet, right? So it was a
Damn,
little weird.
this got heavy out of nowhere, man.
Yeah, seriously, dude.
Okay, what are we going to be talking about today? in
Dude,
terms
have you
of
ever heard of a game called
BDO?
Black Desert Online, dude?
Yeah,
Have you,
I love BDO.
you love BDO? On a
I
scale
love
of what would you
BDO.
place it if you had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'd place it on a 10.
On
Yeah,
10?
I'd place it on a
Here's
10 as
why.
well.
Why?
There's a very specific reason why.
Okay.
See, there's a lot
Uh-huh.
of things on BDO. There's a terminology for these people. We call them efficiency whores,
Yeah, I
right?
know
On
those people.
BDO,
Uh-huh.
yeah, those are the most miserable kind of people,
Yeah, that's true.
right?
Yeah.
I came in here just playing the game the way I wanted to, right? Do you
Real.
know who Biseptimus is?
Of course.
I have a really like we used to be in the first guild together like 5 years ago before we were
Okay.
both streamers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he used to be a really big life skiller.
Okay.
He literally spent 4 hours in a Discord call with me explaining to me workers, life skilling. He set it up so in like 2 or 3 years I would be a trillionaire if I
Okay.
just kept up the workers and I fed them. Guess what I did the next day?
Didn't feed them.
I didn't feed the fucking workers.
Don't you just have
Because
to like
I-
literally keep beer in your
Yes,
inventory?
You do.
That's
But
it?
that would go against the way I play a game. I get on the game without a plan
Okay.
and knowing what I'm gonna do.
So you're telling me that your plan is not automatically having a singular item slot in your inventory that just like the rest of it's all
Nothing.
automatic. Okay, it's still even set up now, I would assume,
No,
right? Because you have to go out of your way to not set that up, right? So I assume it's still set up. If you just have put beer into your family inventory, like
Yeah,
literally
it's still
today.
set up. If I
Okay.
started today, I would be good in 2 years. But I'm not
Okay.
going to.
I
Because
mean,
I feel like the
okay.
moment you come into a game with the plan,
yeah,
it's not fun anymore.
I'm
It's
on
not
the
fun
opposite side,
anymore.
dude. I like making the plan. You know what I mean? Like that's why I like BDO. It's because I go in, and you know Primal Giants, dude.
Yeah.
Primal Giants.
Never touched that grind spot
Bro,
in my life.
it hits. Okay, dude, it's crazy. What you do, you go from pack to
Hey,
pack.
I
and
did a
you
guide
kill
video on
giants,
that.
right? And then it's beautiful. It's great. But like, I like that plan of like knowing what I'm going for. You know what I mean? Do you do that? Do you like plan ahead of what upgrades you're going for, like ahead of time? I guess you're kind of late into the game though.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah. I
not
mean,
just
I got
Deborahs, I assume, right?
I got upgrades that I want to go for, but it's more or less just like I feel like people really forgot what it feels like to just get on a game and have fun.
Yeah, that I actually agree with. I don't know if you know if you know this. I play a game called Lost Ark. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
No, I've seen that cancer.
If you want to meet people who forgot what it's like to have fun, you're making
Daily
money
Ark?
playing Lost Ark. You're planning.
Daily
If you
Ark?
ever played it or you're planning on playing it, dude, the Arkies know a thing or two about.
I played it like day one when it came out, and like
It's
I
kinda- I
did
mean,
my
it's
little
cool.
islands.
Yeah,
I
it's
was a
cool.
good
I like the
little fucking
combat.
Arky for
It's
like a
unique.
week, right?
Yeah.
I went into raids, not watching videos and shit. Like, there's like this
Ooh,
very
okay.
famous incident that happened where like,
Famous
what's that?
incident.
No, I'm serious. It's a streamer. He's called YoFam Steve. He's my boy, but
Oh,
we had
yeah.
a guild on a Regulus. I think that's what the server was called.
Yeah, Regulus. Yeah.
Yeah, and we went into this dungeon. It's like you go underwater and you like fight these
Oh,
fishes,
the
man. What is
water
this shit?
dungeon. Yeah.
Yeah,
That shit is
no.
head, dude.
We didn't watch guides, we didn't watch shit. We spent 12 hours just raw running that, and like I forgot what I was saying. I'm pretty sure I was just like lock in, run it back. You know, we kept doing it over and over until we got it. We finished it, and we weren't even at the final boss. We only finished the first one. So
Oh my.
it was a 3 stages. I was like, wow, I thought there was only one. And then they were like, we should go to the second one. I hit offline. I got off the stream. I got off the game. I don't think I played fucking Lost Ark after that.
Bro, you
But
gotta see what comes after.
but but it was
Yeah.
fun.
It was fun. It was fun. That's the curse of the game, dude. It's like a very efficiency focused game, but it's different than BDO because BDO you can kind of like jerk off and do whatever because
Yeah, you can do
there's no,
whatever.
like
Do whatever you want.
like what does it matter, right? If you get like a like it doesn't even matter what as long as you're playing the game, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
But in Loa, you have
Yeah.
like you got deadlines, you know what I'm saying? You got time frames, you got a motherfucking hit, you know what I'm saying? There's no fucking having fun. You got your 18 raids, you got to do them every week. You should play the game. You might enjoy it. You should come back and play. Me and Laffy could like do raids with you and shit.
I don't know about that. I think I saw Laffy doing her dailies, just like what she would do in a day, like
Yeah.
just once. She was Discord streaming it, and I'm pretty sure she hopped onto like 15 different characters that
Yeah.
she does not like.
Okay,
So, like, what's that
first
about?
of all, okay. That is true, but she's like in a bit of a, like an existential dread right now. The thing, because like the thing is, she took a break, right? And so now she just hates her characters because the people who didn't take a break are just doing more damage now, right? And so she's just thinking of like following her like maternal instincts and becoming like a full support main. But that's just like it's just like more like a mental battle that you have to fight with yourself every day when you play
That's
Lost Ark.
crazy.
Yeah. The thing is, if you're
Yeah.
the thing is, if you're not, you should play though. It's actually fun. Just play DPS characters. You don't gotta play like a million characters and shit, because like you'll have like friends to play with and shit, right? So like,
Dude, supports on there look like the most brain rot thing I have ever seen, and I've
Yeah.
seen shy players.
yeah, no,
And
it is.
I
It's-
honestly
yeah.
think it's way worse than a shy. I think it's way worse than a shy. I'm not
good-
even kidding.
I'm not sure because I never played Shy. A good support player does some crazy ass shit, but the regular human support player, I swear to God, they're masturbating while they're playing the game. It's actually crazy. And you know what's nuts too? It's so broken that even if you have like a hamster piloting that class, they're still doing way more than anyone else can do in the entire game. It's crazy. They do like the damage of like 3 players.
Yeah,
It's
so,
fucked.
so it's like shy. Like at the end of the day, you could do 90% of what the class was intended to do
Mhm.
by just like being alive.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Is
just
that how-
literally
yeah, that-
standing there.
that's-
Yeah,
that's
is that
cringe.
actually Shy?
Yeah, that's shy.
Dude.
It's like, why does every game make the same thing? They make support the most like useful thing, and then they're like, oh yeah, but like if
Exactly.
you're good, it's
then
really
why
good.
is it
but
so
you could also-
popular then? It actually just blows my mind that they make something so brain dead and then it's just like the most popular class in the fucking game.
Wait, Shy is
Well,
the
I
most
think
popular?
so far.
I mean, it's
There's
one of
no
the most
way.
popular.
Ah,
It is
I'm not doing
definitely one of
as
the most
good
popular. Okay, so I
Really?
recently
as I
went
was
to an
my
IRL
last
event
hour.
in
Okay.
Los
I'm
Angeles.
trash
yeah,
so
I saw
far.
that.
Need to pick it up.
I would say I think it was like we had over 30 shy players at that event out of like 100. That's a fucking lot of shy players.
That could also
Like-
be because of the connection between content creators. Actually, never mind. I was about to say something so.
Wait,
fucked.
no, go ahead, go ahead. No, I would agree with you. Go ahead. If we're going
it's
the
good,
way,
it's good.
if we're going the way I think we're going, I agree with you. There was a lot of women at that event,
No,
but
not that. It's
we'll
not.
steer, we'll steer clear of that one too.
No, it
But what
wasn't
were you
women.
gonna say?
Nothing, dude. Content
Fuck,
creators
you
and-
can't
and
invite
loving-
me on here and not let me know the actual person
and
that
loving
you are.
small lolly characters.
Oh, let
okay,
it
dude?
out!
No,
I know it's in there, Coffee. Let it out!
Bro, it's not a demon. I'm not suppressing this.
What's
You got
going
him
on?
chained up, and I'm trying to set him free.
What is going on right now?
Bro,
I
it's gonna
want
be
you
the
to
last
know that
podcast I do.
tonight on this podcast, every time someone says some of the most dumbest shit in chat, I'm taking a shot just to cope with the fact that they even typed. I want you to know that's what's
Dog.
happening. That's what you
Bro, don't
signed
you have to
yourself
stream
up for.
after? Are you streaming later? You're
Yes,
gonna be destroyed.
I need you to know that I don't do shit like this ever,
Really?
ever. No, I
Is it 'cause-
refuse it.
Wait, so why'd you do this?
You interest me. You piqued my interest.
I
as
piqued
a
your
person.
interest.
You piqued
How?
my interest.
Bro, I play Lost Ark. I
You
use my
do.
chair sludging.
But you
fucking-
do it. But you do it in a way that's respectable, and it was almost
That's
about to come out 1
respectable.
minute ago. It was about to come out 1 minute ago, but you restrained it.
What is going on right now?
I can't let him out, dude. I can't.
It's all right. It'll take a couple of minutes. It's fine. But yeah,
Bro, I'm
there
gonna
was a
be
ton of
honest.
shy
I would assume the most popular class, especially among content creators, would just be like Zerker. I feel like every
No.
streamer is a Zerker.
I
That's
mean,
fucking crazy.
that's
'Cause it's
true,
just
but
like,
they're
it's
in the
easy to grind
minority
on.
at the end of the day. It is easy to grind on, but you gotta imagine that the moment you sign up to be the only support class in the game, the amount of fucking privilege that brings.
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
insane.
Yeah, that's true. And it's they're like
I
busted as
mean,
fuck.
let me tell you how insane it is because I recently found out about this person. There's a
Hmm.
person that streams that wars and joins a lot of siege guilds.
Yeah.
They play with every character model off while they're sieging against some of the top end game guilds. They sit there and do nothing. I'm serious. They see no character model. They don't know who
Nice,
they're
dude.
debuffing. They don't know who they're popping shy
All
mobile on.
right.
They don't know who they're healing. They don't know what
That's what
they're
I'm
doing.
talking
They
about.
sit there and look and they stream it for the rest of their guild to see no character models on their fucking screen.
How do you even do that? How's that even?
That's how fucking privileged the class is. That's how extreme
Bro,
it is.
so they're just in complete ignorance. Just like.
Yes, in the middle of a war, in the middle of a castle fight for like one of the biggest castles that gets you like the end game necklaces that everyone wants, everything like that. They
Yeah.
sit there, they PvP against literally nobody on their screen. They're just spamming skills.
Is it PvPing though if all models are off and technically you're just pianoing keys just like in a specific, you know what I mean? Like, is that really, you know, like, is that really, that's like, cause that's like even mob grinding, you have to see where the enemies are, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, but that's
like,
the
it's like life
insanity
skilling
of it,
almost.
right? Because like imagine a DPS doing that. Well, I mean, they'll get kicked instantly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But a little shy player not looking at their fucking screen, that's how fucking insane that class is.
That would be some good content though. If there's like a popular shy streamer that decides to like play DPS the same way they play support, that would be like an interesting piece of content, like with everything off. And imagine just like crank infinite because they're the only person not lagging. And like realistically, you know everybody is, right? Like fucking everyone's wherever, you know what I mean? Wherever you're taking damage, there's people there. So you just like run in, and then you fucking 200 BSR spin on circuit.
Yeah, I
And you see the
actually
kill
know
feed come in.
someone similar to that. His name is Rishan 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does he pump?
I mean, yeah, he does something of the sort. But...
Okay, wait, why'd you bring him up?
I just brought him up because I recently found out, like, because I used to VOD review for him just so, like, because sometimes, like, I'll do VOD reviews for people just so they could get better, right?
Yeah.
And he was one of them. And he recently told me he actually has a condition for his eyes where he can't see moving objects that well. So the moment they start moving fast, it's all a blur to him.
Oh,
So
shit.
before, I used to shit on him for farming his own allies, but then I recently found out he can't even tell what guild tag anyone's under
Holy shit, what the
while
fuck?
he's PvPing.
Really?
Yeah. Yes, dude.
That's fucking wild. That's actually, so when he's in movement or when they're in movement?
When they're in movement, it's something to
Oh,
do with how
shit.
fast something moves coming towards you and out of you,
Oh,
and then it
that's
all just becomes blurry.
Oh shit! I didn't know that was a thing. I
Yeah,
know some
I didn't
birds are
know
like
either.
that. Like that's why like some birds move. Like you ever wonder why like birds like move their head first and like how they, you know, they like how pigeons move or whatever. It's the same thing because if they can't process movement, so to not die in the wild, they
Yeah.
move their head first and then have their body catch up. That's interesting. I know that there was a thing with.
You think that's what he's doing?
No, wait, no, that's not what I mean.
Oh gosh.
I didn't mean it as a job.
Wait, they linked a clip of his. You can watch it.
Okay, what is this? This is him alting.
I hope it's a good one, honestly.
Okay, later he messages me. He goes like, "Kaitar, yo, we're doing siege again. You trying to come in?" And back then, you gotta remember, this was we don't do any trials. Kaitar, you want to come in? All of a sudden, all the officers back, and I also got beef with Frushi. Frushi, bet your ass.
I just realized this entire thing. Hold on, I have to add audio to this. Give me 1 second. Oh, does this have audio? Oh, it does. I'm high as hell. Never mind.
Pussy motherfucker, bro. His little girlfriend.
Where was he? I missed it. What even is this?
Wait.
What is your thing?
What is the clip of? I thought it was the conversation.
He messages me. He goes like, Kaitar, yo, we're doing siege again. You trying to come in?
Am I high as fuck?
And
Did I miss
back
it?
Frushi, bet your ass, little pussy motherfucker, bro.
I think there's audio.
Yeah, I think it's just audio of them talking about it.
Yeah.
This one, Kyther popped off. Oh, that's Kyther losing his shit.
Okay, later he messages me.
I mean,
goes
listen.
like,
Props to him. You know what I'm saying? Never letting anything hold him back. You know what I'm trying to say? A lot of people would have given up. I give up for less, dude. I love BDO. BDO is unironically my favorite MMO ever created, and I can't play it because I have fucking boomer hands, dude. I had,
A
I had,
camp.
bro, I had
A
carpal
camp.
tunnel surgery. Okay, look at this shit.
Oh
I had
no,
carpal tunnel surgery. Okay, dude, bro,
that
the hand still
sucks.
hurts. It hurts on the other side, so I still can't play this fucking dog shit game that I love. It's actually so bad,
There's no way I can name like 10 classes you can play off the rip.
bro. What? Awakened Guardian, Suck Lawn, bro.
Yes, Awakened Guardian, Suck Wand, Zerker. Shit, you could throw in a Corsair in
Bro,
there.
I don't know
Suck
what's wrong.
Corsair.
Oh, Suck Corsair got, bro. I'm playing Suck Lawn, Awake. Okay, bro. Awakened Guardian, you're holding down Shift, bro. The hand gets weak. I got weak hands, straight up. Shy. No, after what I heard, I can't play Shy. It's impossible. I
What is this
refuse.
witch talking about? Nari, did you lie about playing Breaker? What is this necromancer talking about?
Necromancer, bro.
No, I didn't. I'm playing. What do you mean? I'm gonna
Okay, so
play
you are
Breaker.
you are coming to Lost Ark.
No, no, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
When Breaker releases, and if I don't like Breaker, I'm playing Slayer because Slayer is
Bro, just play, bro. Play.
something
Come
about her,
on.
bro.
Yeah,
It's
she's got.
crazy.
There's two really big. She's strong in two really big aspects of the game, in my opinion. There's just something about that class. You should just play. Honestly, like I mean, I guess you play a male class in BDO. What the fuck did you play before Sage?
I shot called. I didn't play anything before Sage. I'm gonna be honest.
Bro, you were like a ghost. What do you mean you didn't like? What class? You didn't have a
Like
class.
no, no,
You
like
just-
like I played a class, but I didn't actually play it. Does that make sense?
Okay, you were a
Like-
Musa main.
I did play Musa before I started streaming though. I
Okay.
did, actually. That was my first class. That was my very first class.
Okay.
But I didn't actually. So the thing about it is, like, when I started BDO, I didn't actually try to like learn PvP and shit. Like, I got really interested in node wars and sieges, so
Mhm.
I started learning how to shock call and
Yeah.
like lead a guild, and that's what I did. So when you shock call, what happens is, I'm not even kidding. The part of your brain that controls your mechanics and how good you are at the game, it cuts off completely.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Because
You're
you
thinking about
can't
other
do
shit.
that as you're shot calling, and
Yeah.
also
I've only
like
done
trying
like
to
a
like
couple node
you're
wars
micro
ever
calling and you're
this
also
game,
macro
which is
calling
really
at the same
sad.
time back
Mhm.
then, at least because we weren't as organized.
I've always wanted
And
to do more
yeah,
node
so I
wars and
didn't
whatnot,
actually know how to
but
play the
just
classes I was playing when I was
you know,
shot
with my
calling at all
limited
You just
until I
let them be
picked up
president
Slayer.
of the
ability to
game.
play,
Yeah,
I usually
no,
only
yeah, I
play
was
like
just
one
telling
hour a
people like,
day.
yo, bro, like turn on your mic, talk. If you're not
And
talking, how are you
so
gonna get a job?
usually I
When you're
spend
fucking
that
like
hour just
25 years old?
grinding.
Like, come on, lock in, start calming. You know, like that's what I was doing. I was telling people what to do. Right? I didn't have
I
enough
feel
time
that.
to
I
like,
feel that.
learn classes and shit like that. I was trying to run a guild of fucking apes.
That's tough, man. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like running a guild in a game should be usable in like real life. Because the thing is, people in
Yeah,
video games, you get like the worst
it's
part
true
of them,
though.
right? You don't get like
A lot of
the
management.
hardworking employee. You get the dude who came home, is completely useless, brain dead, and then you have to like manage this person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're right.
It's fucked. It's actually tough as fuck, dude. Okay, wait.
Yeah,
What are the
so
10? What are these? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, 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 yeah. So like, I just, I shot called for like, I don't know. I think it was like 4 siege guilds in total.
Oh shit, really? Which ones?
It was one was filter, corrupt, snake, and then one was hee XD.
Hee hee XD. I remember
Yeah.
that guild.
The Tyler one meme.
You had a friend in Snake. Did you know? Fuck. What was Calvin's name? Was his name Touche? I don't remember what the fuck his name was in BDO.
Touche.
Touche.
Nah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
two friends. Touche and another dude named Prosecute. I used to play Guild Wars 2 with him. I don't know what the fuck their names were in game. They probably had some like RP names or some shit.
No, I don't know.
What's okay? I actually out of curiosity, what are like classes that are good for people who are like handless, like who are hands are like fucked up? Do your hands not work,
What?
right? You just like you could just grind for like
Hands.
8 hours and your hands just don't have like any like
Yeah, I could go 12, 15, no problem.
from so
I,
jealous. What the
You
fuck?
can't do that with
No,
Warrior.
yeah, it's the gym, honestly.
Okay, that's what I was thinking because after I had the surgery, obviously I haven't used my hand, and I'm wondering if I reinforce the muscle around the tendons and shit, if that's gonna like help, you know what I mean? Like allow me to just grind my face off. Because
You know
all
who
I want in
Armin
life
is?
run circles. Who?
Armin TF.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like a
yeah,
ninja
yeah, yeah,
player.
yeah. Used to be,
Yeah,
used to
Yeah,
work
yeah,
for
yeah.
FP.
He's getting carpal tunnel because he doesn't hit the fucking gym. I tried getting him to hit the gym, right? Like just to do wrist curls and stuff like that, wrist
Mhm.
exercises or anything like that, right? And yeah, this game fucks your hands up, especially if you're trying to grind for gear, and especially on a high APM class, like you're fucked, right?
Yeah, bro, he plays
Especially
Ninja. It's
Ninja.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, that's kind of
he's
fucked.
fucked. Like,
So you think the
that's
gym
what-
actually cures it, dude?
no,
Bro, if
yeah,
I,
yeah,
all I
yeah.
have to do is exercise
doing
and go to the gym because I work out. I like run, but I don't like I don't do anything.
Yeah, you don't have to do like any cardio or anything. It's just all about like straining your wrists, because there's tendons on your wrists and stuff like that that actually get bigger if you do like if you pick up any significant weight. I mean, it's gonna feel like shit at first because you're gonna feel some soreness on your hand that I don't think you've ever felt in your life. Like it
Yeah.
feels Fucking
Okay, because
terrible.
whenever
like,
after I started doing that, after I started like trying to work out, I'm like, bro, and the pain was so exponential. I was like way worse, and then I'm like, okay, I can't fuck around with this shit because it was actually like it like made that like tendon pain or whatever like 1,000 times worse. So I was like, oh shit, I can't fuck around with that because I'm like, I have to fucking
yeah,
play Lost Ark 12 hours.
that's how it starts.
Yeah. All right,
It's
fuck it,
it's
we
fucked.
ball. We're gonna try it out. Maybe it actually like cleanses the hands and I can play BDO. That'd be fucking fire.
Yeah, nothing too heavy, just light.
Doesn't work
I'm gonna try
overnight.
it out. I'm gonna try it out. Fuck, I forgot where I was. What made you start like making content for BDO? What made you start streaming and shit?
Surprised he didn't get recommended to go
Shock
see like a
collar.
hand therapist
Oh,
or
actually,
something.
it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah,
from
just
PvP.
warring. Yeah, there was like a ton of people when I was shot calling, especially in Corrupt. They were like, "Yo, you should stream your shit," and I was like, "Man, fuck all that shit." And then one day I finally did it, and then boom, right after that, it
Oh
just
shit.
started picking up. And
And
then and then later on that point, there was like a ton of streamers and Snake,
mm-hmm.
and I ended up joining Snake. It was like the strongest guild in the game, and then that way it started picking up more too.
Yeah,
And it was pretty much a stock. Yeah, it's pretty much a
Snake's
shot calling.
Snake died after. Like Snake is like dead now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Did they just all become like Cho Nation? Because all
No,
I
no,
know
no,
about
no.
no.
They still have like some of their members in Snake, but a lot of their core is in like Cho and like Digital and a lot of the other stronger guilds.
Meh. All right, so the reason I wanted to bring you here was talk about something that I've honestly
Wow.
something I want to talk about a lot too. But I guess I kind of like the state of the game, right? Like what's going on in Lost Ark, Jesus Christ. Like what's going on in
31
BDO and
minutes,
shit.
and we finally
I
get
know a lot of people like
into
blame the Arkies.
the actual
They
video.
blame the great
I will say that all that stuff was pretty
the
funny.
great like
It was a
convergence
good
when
kind of
the Arkies were in
intro.
August that were like killing the
Yeah.
game and shit. And
And
that
I
the
love
PvP is
long
kind of dead and shit. So I
podcasts
felt like you were a
anyway,
good
so
person
this
to
is
talk to since you're
beautiful.
like, I know
PvP
Laffy
and
memes
shit?
on you for being a grinder. You know what I mean? You just you became a grinding
Ah,
stream.
shit. Laffy's fucking dumb. There's no way. I PvP more than fucking any fucking streamer on this goddamn fucking game. I swear to God.
Actually, you think so? I'm be honest.
In terms of writing and what I'm doing, yeah, I feel like I do. 100%.
Really?
100%.
I'm be honest. Every time I open the stream, dude, I see you in Ulukita. I'm gonna be real here, dude. Every time I open the stream, you
There's a chance you can, right? But with the grinding, dude, like I've started shot calling G leagues. I'm doing fucking G leagues. I'm doing Node Wars. I'm doing open world. They can't even clown on me on that. I know I do it because it's in a fucking VOD.
You'll never beat the allegations, bro. No one in the history of mankind has ever beaten the allegations.
I mean, I do love grinding though.
Yeah, I do look. I feel that, dude. The PvP is fun, but grinding just hits different. It actually is just so fucking chill to grind and just like vibe.
Yeah, no, it does. It does. It feels good. That's what I keep telling them. Like they'll tell me like, oh,
It
Jay's
is
got you
weird.
wrapped around his fingers and shit like that. Like,
It is weird
bro,
how
like there's
this
a
game is so
method to this
addicting.
madness, right?
Yeah.
Like I have
with
goals,
the grinding.
right? I get on and I achieve them any way I possibly can, right? Through any means. It's whatever hits that day.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just grinding.
I feel that. So it's always. But the thing is, what else are you gonna do? You can't PvP like 24 hours a day
But
either, right? Like,
I'm not gonna lie to you. There is moments where I am in Node Wars and Sieges, and I start seeing people as mobs. I'm not kidding. I know it sounds like a meme. Right? It sounds like I'm
That's
joking,
funny.
especially with my voice. I get it. But no, I'm serious. I see them as mobs. Like the way they move and the way they engage themselves with PvP, it almost feels like they are mobs. I'm not kidding. It's so bad right now. I feel like people are just really fucking bad at the game right now.
I mean, also when there's like a lot of people and shit, like everything starts like lagging out and stuff. You know what I mean? There's like desync happening, so it kind of like makes sense. Also, to be fair, most people are probably just lost, right? They just have like Blue yelling at them through their headphones, and they're just like aimlessly walking around. Like, bro, I'm gonna be real. I don't know if you know about this in Lost Ark, but we don't use north, south, east, west. We use like clock notation, okay, dude? It's like 12, 6, 3, 9, okay? And when I did Node War, when I came during the great like Arky depression of like August,
yeah,
like, bro, I would get confused when I say east and west because I haven't heard east and west in like forever, right? So I'm thinking of this in like 3 and 9 because that's how we call things. We call things in 3 and 9. And in my mind, I'm like, bro, why can't he just say like
nice,
12,
another
3,
earring?
Because that's
All
easier
right.
for me, right? That makes sense.
We're going
bro, I have
good.
to think of east and west. Bro, no cap. I think of the Wild West, and I think of okay, in my mind, I envision a world of the map of the world. Okay, dude. And I think of the Wild West, and I'm like, and it like lights up like ding, and and I see America, right? And then I know that's west, and the other side is east.
What? You would rather think in a fucking clock
Yeah,
than
100%.
actually east, west,
Mhm.
north, and south? That's
Yeah,
just 4
100%.
directions. You
100%.
got 12 fucking. So you would rather do triple the amount of directions
Bro, what do you
versus
mean?
just 4
It's the same thing.
versus just 4. It's
Bro,
not
it's
the same thing.
Bro, when
You
I play
got 1
Helldivers with
o'clock,
my Arky
12
friends,
o'clock,
we
3
use
o'clock, 4
we use
o'clock, 7 o'clock.
clocks.
No, it's not the same thing. It's actually
It's
triple
the exact
the
same.
thing. It's
Use
triple
the
the
fucking
thing.
map. There's a fucking map if you say we're going to 3, you know you're going fucking east. You know what I mean? It's the same shit. You just use the map. You have like a map in the top right corner.
I mean, yeah, tomato,
No.
tomato.
No, there's no way. no, there's no way.
Listen,
I mean, I guess don't you guys have
I
to
think
like
I-
stand on like specific?
I think I do
spots
like
for,
the
like, a
clock method
mechanical-
better though, because
Oh,
you can be a little
yeah,
bit more
some shit,
specific.
yeah.
Like, oh, 3 o'clock.
yeah, some shit's like that. Yeah.
Like, oh, 6 o'clock
That's
or
a classic
8
Sparky
o'clock.
technique right there. It's because all the bosses, there's some bosses where they have like, they have like little separated squares, and like, oh shucks, Scoob, which square I gotta stand on, and so you gotta, you know what I mean? Also, the thing is, I don't know if BDO's like this, but Lost Ark, we just do whatever Koreans tell us to do. It's a very beaten down population. It's we're only starting to separate from our Korean overlords. You know what I mean? I feel like this is probably what the earliest a BDO was, right? Because you guys didn't have like a lot of information, and Korea got things like way earlier. I feel like back then, right? So early on, like whatever Korea said went. Were you guys like that early on, or was it always like Kekona land?
Maybe, yeah, early on especially, but I feel like now it's like we're trying to do the opposite of what they do because they're really fucking bad at the game.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are
See, that's
really
what's
bad
happening.
at the
We
video
are
game.
we're just only blossoming. We're like, you ever play Dark Souls?
Yeah.
Okay, you know when that ember in the Dark Souls 1, and they're showing all the people who got like an ember, and then they show the decrepit little Griffith after you
I still need
tortured
to
for
play
a
that
full
game.
year, and it's like,
Dark
and
Souls.
the fucking
Yeah,
little ember
yeah,
touches
yeah.
his hand. The ember just touched our hand, and we're just like slowly like getting up, and we're like hunched over, and we're like, oh, what the fuck? Like we just realized the world exists in a 3-dimensional plane, and it's not just like 2 dimensions. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah, we're on the precipice of it, but they still own our ass, you know? But
yeah.
what the fuck was I talking about?
We're talking about the state of the game, BDO.
Oh yeah. So
Dude, that
you feel like as someone
That
who's
is
been playing for a long
nuts.
time, who's obviously like
Yeah,
a really big part of the
yeah,
Korean
yeah.
community,
I don't know how he does that.
PvP community. Do you
Kind of
feel
insane.
like PvP is actually like dead in BDO?
Good question.
That's a tough question.
It's a good
Um,
question.
Yes, and partly no. Yes, for like the
Two-part.
casual player that plays BDO. Yeah, I think PvP is dead for like the casual player.
Why do you say that?
100%.
Which would be like me.
Because there's a lot that kind of pushes you away from actively wanting to take part in it.
Yep,
Like what?
And that's
that's true.
the
100%. He's
community
100% right.
especially like the
Yeah,
end game
yeah, I could
PvP
get that, yeah.
community.
I can see
That definitely stops you from wanting to actually compete with some of these people. Like for instance, I'm in a guild with quite literally the biggest terrorist on BDO. By far the biggest terrorist I've ever met, encountered, have ever stepped on the same fucking field as him. His name is Florang,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
This fucking guy will quite literally get you to quit the game
Why?
because he just wants PvP. In his head, it's PvP. It is PvP in its essence, right? And there's really quite nothing you can do about it. Like, for instance, if you deck us and you say, "Wow, I'm gonna fuck you guys up," he will go out of his way to swap channels, find you wherever you are. He's hard cap geared. He could do whatever he wants. He's got all the time in the world. He'll hunt you. He'll do whatever he needs to do to like just fuck with you and PvP against
His
you.
whole day just using the
Yes,
black
yes,
what's it called?
and
The black
not-
metron, the dude who finds you?
No, he doesn't even fucking need that. He'll just swap. He'll just swap channel. It's 5 minutes. Who the fuck cares?
Bro, he just
He just swaps it. It's 5 minutes. They made it easier. The devs made it easier. But he'll do that. And if you drop deck, for instance, recently 2 weeks ago, someone dropped deck against us.
Okay.
And he decided that since you drop deck against us, he will find you in open world while you're grinding. And he said, "Yo, I need 4 more people to come with me to grind over this guy." Immediately 4 X's in chat. They were
Oh, that's
fucking
so
ready to go.
funny.
Really?
He set up the group. They grinded over that motherfucker.
Oh
They
my
forced them
God.
into Marnie's realm.
Oh
Instantly.
gosh.
Drop deck against us is probably the worst thing you could do. But he's also sniped Blue Squadron. I'm sure maybe you saw it, but like Blue lost his fucking mind over this guy.
I heard about that.
And
I didn't see it, but I don't know if it was with him. I
other
just heard there was like an
other
incident.
other people as well. I'm sure there's a lot of people that come in here and then like are scared to actually fucking stream this game, right? With
Mhm.
good reason.
Well, see, that's the
But
issue.
I also added the but at the end of that sentence when I was talking about that. I also feel like a lot of that has to do with the way as like we as creators like present ourselves and what we say and what we do. Like if we're showing off some ego or like we're really feeling ourselves and someone's
Mhm.
trying to put us in our place, like shit like that. It's really back and forth at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But for someone who's casually coming into this game, yeah, I mean, they are really gonna feel like, maybe like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't PvP. What the fuck? Why should I get involved with these people?
Yeah.
Yada
That makes
yada
sense.
yada. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're
So that's why I feel
casual,
like
you're never going to be in that
for the casual player,
situation.
they probably wouldn't want to engage in this sort of thing.
So I always felt like it was like kind of the opposite because that's like kind of like at a really like top end thing, like when people kind of know each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, bro, I remember
But
when
that's what
I started
people
playing
see
like,
the most of, That's what's
Yeah.
glorified. That's what's
yeah,
like,
I get it. That's
oh
true.
my
Yeah.
god, yeah, that's what's gonna happen. There's
It's
clips of it
not.
everywhere.
That's only if they're
fucking-
like Twitch frogs and shit, right? Because I feel like just a regular
Yeah.
player.
Yeah, if you're a regular
There
player,
is-
it's
there's
not
like-
going to
there's
happen
like
to
no,
you.
like there wasn't like AOS. There was no, bro. It wasn't even like different grind spots. It was literally like you just got gear checked for the first 2,000 hours. Like that was just what the game was. Like you just got fucking straight gear checked for the first 2K hours.
Yeah.
Died in SA. Like like you just melted no matter what you were doing. You know what I mean? So I feel like if anything now, this is where I'm kind of confused because as someone who started playing, I didn't start at the beginning. I came in 2019 or whenever the fuck they
Mhm.
introduced seasons or whatever, right?
Yeah.
To me, it feels like PvP would be nothing but more alive right now because back then, it's like you didn't really have any options. Red Battlefield wasn't capped, World PvP wasn't capped, and you were grinding at 80 mil an hour or something, or like 60 mil an hour, whatever the fuck it was. So like and then everyone grinded Orcs or Stars End. So like you would graduate from like if you got your infinite
Good
potion
old
or whatever,
orcs.
and instantly you were like no one, you couldn't defend yourself against anybody ever, right? Like everyone just like blew you the fuck up. And so now you can do AOS
you're right.
and like actually learn, and you know what I mean? Like there was just like there's so many more
I think
options
maybe
now.
maybe I could like narrow down my my argument.
Mhm.
So I would probably say more specifically uncapped PvP, right? If anything,
yeah,
that's
that makes sense.
probably what's suffering the most, right? The capped PvP is probably doing better.
Mhm.
But in terms of like actually like pushing people to want to progress to get to that uncapped PvP, I don't think that's happening like at all.
It's hard though because it's like I feel like BDO is kind of like Lost Ark too. They have the same problem. I guess it's all Korean MMOs, I would assume, but those are the two I played. If you start late, like let's say if I started playing BDO right now, choice will always be ahead of me. Let's say, right? This is an example. Let's use
For
something that's famous, 'cause
sure.
that's the only I can think of that's like geared to the teeth. Actually, you're pretty geared to the teeth. You're like 7-6. You're fucking insanely geared. Let's say you, right? I will
It's
never.
really flawed though.
Why?
Like
What do you mean?
that thought process of like gear score and how people think of gear score, it's really flawed
Mhm.
because gear score is only so beneficial to a
Yep.
certain point. Like I'm
Yep.
not saying that like yeah, you would probably perform better with 770 than you would with like 720, right? Of course.
Yeah.
But the thing is it's an
It gets to an
overinflated
exactly.
it's oversaturated. Like people aren't genuinely thinking about how big of a difference there is between someone who like let's say plays the right class that's on 720 versus the wrong class that's on 770.
Yeah, that makes
Like
sense. Like there is
it's
a big skill gap as well.
yeah, it's infinitely more nuanced than just like gear score. And I get that number scares people, but
Yeah, no, I get that. That's true. You hit a cap.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
at
unless
some
you're
point where
like
you just, you know,
600
Yeah,
gear
you just
score
yeah, yeah,
versus
it's
yeah,
760
yeah,
gear
that makes
score,
sense.
then
stagnating,
yeah, of
and
course.
it matters more where that
But
gear
if you're
score is
like
located
20
rather
to
than just
50
the
gear
overall
score
number
off,
in
like
general.
Yeah,
there's
that
you
makes
still
sense.
have a
You
chance.
feel like this is something I noticed like back then, and I feel like it's only gotten worse now. You feel like maybe AP has gotten like too high because I feel like I didn't play in the early days, but I feel like everyone has so much fucking AP now that it just seems like I don't know. The game just seems like a little bit too explosive. I don't know if it gets countered like later on when you're like everyone's kind of like super
It
juiced.
does. It does get countered later on, but you're sort of
Don't be
right. I
taking my
don't think
spot,
it has
bruh.
nothing to do with the AP rather than the actual classes themselves with the like modifiers that they have.
Mhm.
The
Come on
power
now.
creep with like classes that have recently come out
Don't wake me
is
up.
insane. Like classes like Dracania and Wusa and Megu that have recently come out are just their damage is insane, their mobility is insane, they have healing passes. They have everything in their kit that you could ever want out of a class.
They're just
And
like super
that's
strong duelers, and they
yeah,
also have like ways of getting in and out, so they're strong in like large. They're
that
like good in
that's the
every form of
yeah,
PvP, pretty
they're
much.
good in everywhere because
Yeah.
not only do they have that one spec, but they also have an opposite spec that could also
Come
perform in the
on.
weaknesses that they want to cover.
Stupid
Yeah, that
That's
makes
fucking
sense.
insane.
screen.
That's fucking insane. It's the power creep, the power creep and new classes that are coming out, rather than the actual gear that people are getting. It's the
Yeah,
problem.
the new classes are
So
insane.
why is it you feel like a lot of people feel like like PvP is dying in BDO, or like the game is trying to like push away from like PvP? When I feel like I always kind of felt the opposite. It was kind of like a I feel like they're just giving a lot more options to like PvP now. You know what I mean? Like they're giving a lot more ways of like PvPing. Like why is it you think that the old school players feel like like the PvP is getting being taken out of the game?
Well, it's the
Silver.
open world.
Wait, what do you mean?
You don't make any fucking silver PvP. Why would you do it?
Well, and
Wasn't it
that
always like that
too.
though? Like I remember when
Yeah.
I played, you don't make any money PvPing. And since they removed what's that shit called? They had that fucking side game that was dog shit. Fucking Shadow Arena. They had it in the game, and people
Mhm.
really liked it, but then they took it
But you can,
out.
yeah, no, you can make money from that too.
Yeah, that used to be
So
like that's
the
what I heard was the only
reason
thing that
why
made money.
silver is a bigger problem than it was before is because of
Uh-huh.
the amount of gear you have to get to actually like when you're end game.
Mm.
Like for instance, I could explain you my Deborah necklaces. Okay, so when you enhance a Deborah necklace, you have to quite literally spend 33 bill on each pen enhancement that has a 40% chance to downgrade, that you have to spend another 8 bill to re-enhance a tet. And the average for that is probably 4 taps, right? So you have to spend almost as much as you do on a pen tap, which is 33 bill, to get it back to tet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're constantly trying to push for end game PvP and you're trying to push for an end game guild, and you have to spend quite literally like 4 days of grinding on a singular
Yeah.
tap,
Mm-hmm.
right? Making silver matters infinitely more than back then, where you have to push like plus 15
Yeah,
or
okay, I get what you
try
mean.
or
It's
something
like a
like that.
ridiculous. But there, I do feel like, hey, maybe it's because I'm not that gear score yet. But I do feel like it's also kind of like one of those like that's like a super like like when people are starting to tap for like pen debo and stuff. You know what I mean? It's like a ridiculously like late game part of the game. But I guess that makes sense. You have to that means you have to like you have to kind of commit to a certain amount of time grinding, and which sometimes
Yeah,
people might not. Yeah, that makes sense. Have they ever
yeah. I
spoken
mean,
about that making PvP like an actual good way of
silver
making money?
viable?
Yeah.
No, no, they haven't ever. That's like been one of the like constant struggles between like the PvP community and PA making their decisions, right? Like we like the guild league changes, like they give us a bit of silver and maybe some elixirs, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you got to imagine that if you truly want to like be competitive in this game, right? You're dropping at least 80 million a life
Yeah.
to just stay buffed.
Yeah. Oh wait, it's 80 mil per
Yeah,
time you
per
die.
life. That's what I do. Yeah, it is. It's insane.
Damn.
You're paying 40
It's a
for
lot
the
of money.
actual perfume that you're using,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're paying another like 30 to 40 on the elixirs that you're using, right?
Yeah,
Not to
that makes
mention if
sense.
you're popping like well tendon potions or elixirs, like it.
Come
I
on.
feel like the way they have it set up and the items that you're using, they're like kind of like they're trying to de-incentivize you to like actually want to push for that shit. Like, in what world do you want to spend 80 million a life to PvP for no silver?
Yeah, that seems
There's
kind of
no,
insane.
there's no
Yeah,
fucking
that
way.
makes sense. It's hard because I mean, why don't they just disable like buffs and shit for like node boys and stuff, right? Because that's not
Exactly.
like. Although would that make it cancer? Because I guess they have the life skilling aspect of the game too, right? Like they have to create
Yeah, you still want the life
use
stealing
cases
aspect.
because like you're not gonna. I mean, I guess in the Ulukita spots I've heard are like so fucking punishing. Even like for some Dekia spots, like you kind of need to be running like elixir rotation for fucking. You need as much AP as humanly possible.
Yeah, to actually farm the mobs efficiently. Yeah.
Yeah, you need like a shit ton of AP. But even then, I think a lot of those things come down to like because of like the synergy of the game, right? They have to have people like
Well,
burning through
it's all about
like
efficiency too.
consumables because otherwise life
Like,
skillers
I
don't make
never
like any
use
money and it's like still a
consumables
push in the game.
for
You know
like
what I mean? That
PvP
they want
like
to take
Yeah,
that.
advantage
Like it's just too
yeah. Because for
expensive.
me,
It's not
like
worth it.
I always thought like the best way to have it set up for people to want everything that they want, to do whatever they want, it would be like a circle, right? The life skillers give the PvPers elixirs and the PvEers. The PvEers like get enhancement mats or whatever the fuck from like their grind spots they sell to like PvPers too. It's all a circle at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. Everyone's providing a good to each other. Everyone's returning that good to each other. Like it's a fucking circle. But
Yeah,
like
that makes
right
sense.
now, you're having a ton of people who are spending a shit ton of money doing what they like maybe it's VPing and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like actually zero return for their like investment and time into that shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. That actually does make a lot of sense. Do you feel like someone jumping into the game now would be able to get to the point where they can like actually compete with like these super like
Yeah, easily,
gear juicers?
easily.
Actually, I guess that's true. The gear.
It's
Yeah.
too easy.
Yeah,
It's
that's actually
capped.
true.
A lot of people do cap.
Yeah, it's
90% of
cap.
this game is capped PvP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people would orientate towards like capped sieges and
Now
capped node
that pretty
wars
much open
versus uncapped most of the
world
time. It's
PvP is
really
like not a
rare that
thing
you fight
anymore.
people
I
with
mean,
uncapped gear and shit like that. So like yeah, 100%. like all the catch-up mechanics for seasons and things like that. That's really easy to do. And they made it even easier, especially because back then when we did seasons and stuff like that, the enhancing and everything like that was way more cancerous.
Yeah. Oh,
But now
shit.
it's just as simple as just logging in, getting to like level 17, and like you do some like little pass to get all your rewards, and you're done.
Yeah, they streamlined a lot of the stuff. Although I don't
Yeah.
really think that's necessarily a bad thing. Something that
No, it's not. Good.
like so this is my whole take on why I assume PvP was like dying in the game or why people felt that way. Because when I started playing, dude, I remember again like you made like no money, whatever, right? But a big part of it was that like the people who stuck around aren't really PvPers, right? Because like if you get into a game, I'll use myself as an example. Like you get into a game, I grinded my infinite pot for I think like 500 hours. I got really unlucky, but once I left my infinite pot shit, I went to Star's End and I just instantly started getting like I couldn't play the game anymore, right? And I would try to like PvP, but I couldn't really do anything because again
Yeah.
like I was like not geared enough. And so the game was kind of this thing where you have to grind for probably like 1,500 hours before you can kind of stand up to like people really, you know what I mean, and not just get killed immediately through your protections.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I wanted to go play fighting games because like I wanted to PvP, but the only source of PvP that the game really offered required an insane amount of grinding. So what I always assumed was that like the people who do stick around in a game like that are not people who want to PvP. It's people who want to grind because the only people who are going to put up with, you know, grind like you know what I mean. Like if you have to grind for 1,000 hours to play the game before you can even like not get
Oh,
like
where
one
am I
shot
going?
through SA or whatever, you'll just go play something, and that's how I started playing fighting games.
Ay,
Right?
ay, ay.
Like it kind of like was it like natural progression for it? I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
so.
It equals itself out.
Yeah, and so that's why I figured now like they're making more PvE oriented choices is because like those are the people who stuck around, right? Because there's not a lot of like super old players anymore. Like you guys are kind of like most people quit,
A
right? Most people
dying
from your days
breed.
quit. There's people who stuck around because you guys probably enjoyed like all
I've
aspects of
been
the
playing
game and
since
with playing or whatever,
2016,
right?
baby.
And then there's like new waves of players that come in constantly, and those players were like if you know what I mean. Like now there's like I feel like more of a variety, so people could come in and just like do AOS and shit, right? Or
No, yeah, yeah, you're right.
like
There is
so
more of a variety.
yeah, exactly. So
I,
like it kind of that's why I never understood the concept because it was like if
I
it's
I
dying, it's
still
only
think
I don't
that
know.
like silver plays into it though. Like
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
at the end of the day, like they want you to push gear, and there's incentive to do it. There's things to do that you want to do with gear, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like there's a really big demotivator when it comes to PvP and actually making like and actually getting your gear up there. Like
Yeah,
there really is, and
that's
we
true.
we could clearly see it. It's been a constant complaint from us, and like they have tried to amend it in like the shittiest way possible by giving us like maybe 200 mil like on a game of like guild leagues, right? And like
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's 3 of my lives. Like thanks,
Yeah,
I guess. it, and honestly, like I feel at the end of the day, right? The incentive is there to PVE and to
hmm
grind mobs because the silver is an incredibly like it's a motivator for everybody to want to get
Oh yeah.
silver because even if you hated to grind, right, you would still do it to want to PvP.
yeah, that
So
makes
like
sense.
it's infinitely frustrating for all the fucking people that just fucking hate sitting there brain dead for 8 hours hitting the same mob over and over again with the same skill combo,
Yeah, that's true.
but they still got to do it. They still got to do it if they want to be good in endgame PvP.
Yeah, and also I guess as the game progresses, those players also have to you have to kind of keep up, right? You can't like fall behind like as well. I guess that's a thing too that like I never really thought of when I was playing, but older players probably feel that pressure more, where you feel like you have to keep up with your peers because like
Yeah,
it's the same shit in Lost Ark. If you come in late, like we're gonna be honest, you're never catching up. So it's kind of like you just play the game at your own pace. Whereas like in for us people who started from the beginning and have been playing the whole time, everyone's always like more stressed out, I guess you can say, where they have to do things they don't like or do things they don't really feel like doing, or that's kind of repetitive because you've done it for like 60 billion fucking hours, and you feel more of that desire to like keep doing it because of the fact that like you want to do whatever you want to be able to keep up with everyone else, right? You want to be where everyone else is at because for us, it's like creating new raids, new content, new shit like that, right? So
yeah.
it kind
I
of gives
haven't
you that.
even gotten to the real autism like of this whole thing. It's because like not only do you have to push endgame gear, you have to push swaps. Because at the end of the day, BDO is a paper rock scissors game,
Mhm.
right? Like you don't want to be caught not having a DR set when you're full evasion. You don't want to be caught having a like DP set when you
It's
don't have an
true.
AP set. You want to have quite literally every
Yep.
swap imaginable in a game so you can
Yep.
fight every imaginable character, every imaginable evasion
That is
player,
so
every
true.
imaginable DR player. Like you want to have literally every swap in the game with every fucking elixir in the game to be able to fight whoever it is you're fighting.
Wait, you actually have separate sets of gear? I thought that was only a
Yes,
thing for
you
like
want
capped like nodes or whatever.
like capped players. Like, yeah, it's a thing for more for uncapped players too.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like if you're open worlding and you're PvEing and you're an active guild that has war decks and stuff like that, and you're fighting different people every time, like yeah, you want to have swaps because at the end of the day, that's literally the most efficient like thing you could do at that point.
So you have
Like
like actual multiple pieces of like, let's say
yeah,
Try or Ted God gear
you
and
want
shit. Like
a AP necklace, evasion necklace, maybe an evasion belt,
really,
an accuracy belt, accuracy earrings, accuracy rings, AP rings. Yes,
that's
it
fucking.
gets it's
I
it's
guess you know what it is.
actual
I think
insanity.
I think this is so. I'm just gonna put a couple things together because I have a lot of friends who play and they're like mainly PvE players. They just love to grind and shit, right?
Yeah.
And so they're on a side where they feel like they're getting to a point where like there's so much catch up in the game where you kind of like not finish the game, but you kind of like pseudo finisher, right? You get to the point where you feel like you have let's say like a pen devil or you have head devils, like you're at a point where you more or less are kind of finished, right? And they're worried that like the game will kind of like reach like a I guess like a problem where there isn't enough stuff to grind. But on the opposite side of the fence, you guys don't have that problem. There's actually too much shit to grind.
No, there's a lot to
Yeah,
grind, more
but
than
the
you
thing
could
is, you
imagine.
guys don't want to like you're not the like it's almost like it's targeting the wrong people, right? Because in PvE, you're just going for it's AP nonstop, right? You're just going as high AP as you can possibly go, no matter what, and as much DI as you can possibly do,
Sorta.
right?
I think the biggest problem here is that like you want as many swaps as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if something like uncapped PvP is being demotivated and like not as pushed for as possible, then you just feel like shit, right? Like you're getting all these swaps and the game company that you're playing for, right? You're playing the game for isn't making the push to want people to like push this end game gear, to want to push to uncapped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they keep making capped games after capped
This is
game
a
after
pretty good
capped
topic.
game after capped game, and you're sitting there like pushing to fight these same people. Like you want there to be incentive for the newer players that are coming in to actually want to push
To
for this
gear up,
end game
yeah,
gear.
I think that makes
Yeah.
sense. It was something that where before I was kind of more against, but after like with what you're saying, it does make. I think like a balance, right? I think if it's way too cushioned on just everything is capped, it does turn the game into like
One
why
more
the fuck are you
minute.
grinding? And it also kind of makes
Falling
the grinding feel
asleep.
even worse because you know why you're grinding. Like more AP good, right? Whatever. But it makes it even feel a
Yeah.
lot worse.
Like here's the thing, right? Capped is a stepping stone to uncapped. It should be. That's the natural progression
Yeah,
of
that makes
things.
sense.
You don't want your end game community to feel like shit for investing their time into your game, right?
Mm-hmm.
That just naturally makes sense. So for all the people that constantly want to push for capped games, it's cool and all, but there should ultimately be the motive to actually want to push outside of that to actually compete with the people that are at the end of the game.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
there isn't enough of that.
I think they were on one extreme and now they're kind of on the other, and hopefully they kind of find that center ground because, like I said, when I started playing, bro, there was like T1 Node Wars, and that was dude. Everything else was like everything was uncapped, and so it made it
Yeah.
like unpleasant to like play the game, especially if you wanted to PvP. Whereas now, I think they're on the complete opposite side. They capped literally everything, and they kind of went a little bit overboard. So now, before you felt like I'm sure you felt this, or you've heard people around you say this, like you're kind of grinding, and like, bro, why the fuck am I doing this for? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
before it was kind of like because you get to a point where it's like if I have to grind like for fucking like 1,000 or 1,500 hours to just play a part of the game I want to play, that seems kind of fucked. But now it's the opposite end where it's like, okay, well, I have all this fucking gear, but like, what's it for, right? Like, what am I gonna use it for? Because like you're not even like it doesn't even matter that you're juiced to gills because you're just always neutered and neutered, and then you have to like bring in
Yeah.
separate sets of gear, right? So that way you can manage
Actually
better in
perform.
the when you're because you're limited so hard on the gear that you actually have, right?
No, that's true. Yeah.
So what would you say, even for like let's say like making money in PvP? Like, what do you ever think of like how that would work? Like, what they could implement to actually make PvP more lucrative, even silver wise, to like make you want to like gear out, and if they do add like
I mean,
some uncapped shit, you know what I mean?
we already have the game modes implemented into the games, right? At this point, and God, I feel like shit. At this point, it's in PA's ballpark to actually want to buff the amount of silver they give to us and these already existing game modes.
Okay, so you're saying like let's say even in arenas or even through doing
I
node war, just
fucking
buff the
you
fuck out.
can't possibly understand how much I fucking hate saying that, right? I hate that ultimately the decision is up to them to want to buff the silver that we make from the PvP that already exists.
Okay,
I
so
hate that.
why does it
Be-
tilt you so hard?
because we have zero autonomy in that situation. We can't do shit. We literally can't do shit. At the end of the day, the only thing we could do is be like, fuck AOSing, fuck RBFing, fuck node warring, fuck guild league, fuck sieging. Let's grind. That's
Yeah, I
it.
get what
That's
you mean.
that's
It's
ultimately
grinding just becomes worth more than
or
literally
life
everything. Yeah,
skilling,
that makes
I
sense.
guess. Or life skilling, I guess.
Life
You
skill.
know, or life skill. If you're that cringe,
Bro,
right,
they're playing a
life
whole different
skill.
game though. Life skillers are not there like PvPing and shit. You know what I mean? They're just like, I don't know. Do they? Is there people who like a life skill to make money to
No,
PvP?
yeah,
Is that like
no,
a thing?
100%, yeah, yeah. There's like this big furniture crisis right now in NA where you can't get a single AP furniture item.
Oh yeah,
and
the
those
line heads or
motherfuckers,
whatever, right? You literally
those
can't buy them.
motherfuckers
Yeah.
are making bank off those bitches that don't want to pick up a sniper rifle and hit some wolves and shit.
Yeah, you have to hunt your own shit, right? You actually have to hunt your own head so that you can actually buff
and
yourself.
trust
That's
me,
fucked.
I like that, but I feel like they're not making enough money from that because if they really did make a lot of bank, a lot more people would be doing it. And like
Yeah,
it
that
wouldn't
makes
be that
sense.
much of a crisis.
I do think that's something that's tough with the game that even existed before. I feel like sometimes they're like, I don't know if they're better with it now, but also sometimes they're kind of like slow with like also increasing the cost of shit. You know what I mean? Like the actual cost of like.
They are really slow.
I think the controlled market is a good thing. Before I played Lost Ark, I thought it was dog shit to be honest. But then I played a game where it's pay to win, but everything is just like tradable. And I'm gonna be honest, it's like 1,000 times worse. It's fucked. But I do feel like sometimes like if you see the entire community needs a specific item, it's like and there's just like buy orders forever. Like just bring it up. And the
Wait,
thing is, you could like bring it
did I
up and
get a
down. I don't know why they
notification
never just
saying
kind of
that
adjust things depending on like
elites are
if
up?
they over.
I'm
You know what I mean? Or even putting
confused.
a higher cap. Like, what does it hurt?
The
Just put a
heck?
higher cap, and if it ends up going to
Ooh.
the new limit, I don't know how that could be a bad thing. 'Cause that's just
Kinda
what it's worth.
confused.
Yeah,
Usually, right?
Like,
I don't know either. Like at the end of the day, like
huh?
people are either going to invest their time into doing that
That's
specific
interesting.
thing for that specific item for the people that actually want it, or they're just not
Yeah,
because it's not as
exactly.
profitable.
I'm sure
I
there's
do
some
have
weird ass
something to
shit.
pick your brain about though.
What's up?
Someone brought it up, like they're talking about like maybe like potential win trading and stuff like that for like
Mhm.
silver if like PvP was a thing. Like, do you think it's enough like as a game developer to be like, wow, this is a really good idea, but people can abuse it. We should just get rid of it. You think that's a good enough
I'm gonna
reason for
finish
thing
someone
this
to
is,
little
get
small
is
rid of
that
it or
rotation,
something
then
like
we'll
that?
call it there for the
So
hour.
to be honest, yes, in my honest opinion, just because like in every other game, we kind of like humans tend to like you have to protect people from themselves, right? We min-max the fun out of everything. A perfect example even is your Siege, right? I don't know if it's like this in BDO, but it's like this in every other PvP game I ever played when I played like Eve or Mortar
Okay, well,
or whatever.
I'm glad that you
just like
brought that up because people can abuse grinding by literally just hiring some like third world country player
yeah,
to
yeah.
like just
Bro,
grind for
that
them on
shit.
their
Okay, okay,
account.
okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so
But
like,
that's
should we just get
outside
rid
of the
of
game
grinding?
rules, right? That's
No,
outside of the game rules. You know what I'm saying? Like
well,
win trading
outside
is
of
on
the
like
game rules
moderated.
is win trading. Yeah,
But they
no,
got caught, bro.
outside,
Didn't hands get banned or some shit like years ago?
no, outside of the
Yeah.
game rules would be win trading.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
should.
That is true. But I mean, you guys win trade from castles, and bro,
Let's see what we got. 30, 56, 5, 1. Got 9 of these, 7 of these. Hey, it's still not bad. 931 million. Not bad at all. Not bad. I'll take it. I will take it. All right, YouTube. I'm gonna peace out. Peace, peace.